Oh my god, this is crazy!
Middleofnowheregaming.com. Everybody go to that website. Say we sent you.
Yeah, get that traffic
I
up.
bet they're really good at Minecraft. They're probably the antithesis of us.
This is the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast.
Welcome into episode 75 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Courtney Osborne, and today I am joined by the one and only Nintendo Ninja, Lou.
And I'm drinking.
And he's drinking like a badass before he goes to class.
Oh yeah, I got class later on.
Are you actually going to go to class?
Oh, I'm absolutely going to go to class. It's an hour class. I have to drive there.
And
So, I'll be counting my swigs.
Okay. And then the Destiny demigod, Miles.
E.T. phone home.
I know this
There
one.
you go.
This one's E.T.
I would hope so.
First ever win!
Star Trek.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's from the Rathacon. I give it up.
Okay, so, as I've been saying for the past month, we are live streaming the podcast every week now. We're going to try to go live at 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. If we don't, then it'll be just shortly around that time. So be sure and tune in to twitch.tv/MongPlays if you want to watch it live. However, if you don't catch it live and you want to watch it on YouTube, you could watch the exact stream that was live, overlay and all the cool stuff that I made for it on YouTube by going to youtube.com/MongNetwork. It'll be up there within a few hours after the end of the podcast. Hopefully with my new computer, it'll start getting faster. Other things that we need to talk about before we get going. We have our Game of the Month. Did you guys see our Game of the Month?
I did not.
You did
I
not.
did not either.
You did not.
This is a big crescendo for me. I want to know what it is. Drum roll.
Drum roll. Hold on. I'm pulling up the
I don't know if you can.
top four for it. I wanted to read off the top four for it.
I voted DBX, that's all I know.
Okay, so it came down to these four games. Evolve, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, and The Order 1886.
All right.
And the winner was... Do the drum roll now. The Order 1886.
Really?
Yeah. I was surprised as fuck. Like, I can't even... Oh my god. When I was tallying it up, and I saw... It was the Order 1886 and The Legend of Zelda were going back and forth as I was tallying it, and I was like, there's no way this is going to end up like this. Zelda's going to just destroy it at the very end, and nope, that didn't happen. The Order beat it by 2 freaking points.
You PlayStation ponies.
It was awesome. So cool. I was really glad to see it win, but I didn't expect it at all.
We're the only place that they will ever get an award from.
And they deserved it. It was an awesome feat. Really good
I'm
game.
still waiting. I'm waiting for it to get to Redbox so I can grab it for the day. But yeah, I'm excited to play it. It looks fantastic.
It's a really good game. I'm really glad that they won, and I'm really glad that they've gotten some praise after that first week. They've gotten since then they've gotten a lot more praise from the normal gamers and not the higher ups who have a stick up their ass.
Those filthy casuals.
Other than the Game of the Month, today is the day that Final Fantasy Type 0 HD comes out, which everyone else actually knows that as the day the demo for Final Fantasy 15 comes out. And I actually just streamed that entire demo. Started about 4 hours ago. It took me 2.5 hours to beat. So if you want to watch that, you could find it on this Twitch channel by going down to our highlights, or you can go to our YouTube page, MONG Plays, and the entire playthrough is going to be up on there. And I have to say, that demo was fucking awesome.
Was it? I still have to play it.
Oh my god. It was so good. Not only was it beautiful, but the battle system was just awesome. It was so cool. And then, like, at the very end when you get the summon is ridiculous. Like, oh my god. I can't praise it enough. I cannot wait for the final game.
Right.
I've been hearing stuff about it, and it's like I'm starting to get a little bit more hype, but I guess I'll watch the video and check out the battle system because it's like not real time. Well, yeah, real time now, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real. It's not turn-based.
Okay, well, I'll see how it is. Which summon was it? If you don't mind my asking.
Is it Ramu, or I don't know how to say it.
Oh, if it's not, if it's not Bahamut or Ifrit, I have no idea who it is. So.
Yeah, it's not either of those.
Right.
Shiva. I know Shiva. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to play this. If you had to compare it to another Final Fantasy game, which one would you say it is most like?
Ooh, I don't know. I honestly, it's not like any of the games we've played recently. You know, it's not like any of the 13 series, and the fact that you don't go to a separate battle system or a battle stage or anything like that. So it's not like that. It's not turn-based either. It's more like the battle system's more like Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, in the sense that you can actually do attacks on the go, except that it's all on the world, you know, it's real-time everything. But story-wise, I can't compare it to anything. Graphics-wise, I can't compare it to anything. Combat system is very unique. It's very different from Final Fantasy. So I don't know.
Do you see them at all releasing the demo eventually?
No.
No? You don't think they'd ever do it?
Nope.
Not like a week before release?
Maybe a week before release, but we're talking like fall 2016 at that point.
Right.
You know, like that's so far out that I wouldn't even consider them releasing it. You know, it seems silly. But then again, maybe they would, you know, maybe they'll have another demo. Maybe something else will come out. But as of right now, the only way you're going to get is buying Type 0 within the next like 2 or 3 weeks. Because after that those codes are going to be gone. And it's not going up on the store. It's not going to be purchasable anywhere else.
Did they explain what the word Duske means?
No.
Did we look into that
wait.
before?
They didn't explain it, but at the beginning, there's a text, like a description on the screen when it's loading it up, and it's talking about like a Duskaean landscape, which I don't know what that means. I didn't look that up. Does that mean anything? Is that a made-up word?
It's got nothing registering in my brain.
Yep, I googled Duske and it just comes up with Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyways, that's what it was referring to. I'm assuming that's probably the country or the county you're in during that, because it's a very square area you're in. You can't go out of it. It's a huge square, and you probably won't want to go out of it because there's so much to do in it. Yeah, see, Aaron just said it's the name of the place where the demo takes place. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
All right. Well, good to know.
All right, Lou, you want to bring up something?
Okay, yeah. Right now, of course, we're doing the MONG Podcast. We have a lot of viewers here, and a lot of people who are on the team, and a lot of people just catching it because we're entertaining. If you want to be part of the team, if you want to do some writing, if you want to do some video content, if you want to be part of the MONG team, which is really just a great community of gamers who constantly talk video games, we're constantly setting up multiplayer games, we're constantly doing video content. It's all a ton of fun. But if you want to be part of that community, we're currently doing writing auditions. To be a writer, of course, if you want to do something else, if you want to do community management, video, if you have your own pitch for a podcast, hell, we'll listen to it. And, if you want to be part of the team, you just go to middleofnowheregaming.com, and in the About Us section, there should be an application. Is there any chance you could post that, Courtney?
Yeah, sure. Keep going.
So if you're right now, if you're in the, Twitch, then you're seeing it in the chat. If not, then we'll try and post it somewhere. Maybe we'll link it into the YouTube video if I get some free time.
Well, it's as simple as middleofnowheregaming.com/application.
It's that simple if you could spell application, unlike me. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's not overly difficult, and we take on as many people as we can because we just love growing our community. So yeah, if you're feeling down to write some video games, talk some video games, and be part of this action, then definitely sign up.
Totes my goats, man.
We would love to have everyone.
Okay, so what's on everyone's playlist this week?
Well, I recently finished up the cheapness that is the ending of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So after that, just ordeal, that strenuous ordeal, I'm probably going to sink some time into Helldivers. Should probably finally finish Dragon Age Inquisition. And all of the 19 PlayStation Plus games that I have not even started yet.
You got a lot of games, a lot of stuff to do in that game.
Oh, and my Vita games. I completely forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. I always forget about my Vita games. For some reason, I never consider that in my backlog. And then I look up there and I'm like, damn it. And that's not even counting the downloadable ones that I have. Oh, man.
Exactly.
Balls.
What about everybody else?
I have been going and doing my normal thing of playing big blockbuster releases 6 months behind. I'm right now playing Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I get it. I understand why people like it. I'm not sure if it's the game for me yet. I'm very plotline centric, and not being a Lord of the Rings fan. And by that, I'm not saying that I don't like Lord of the Rings. I'm saying this is my first ever experience with Lord of the Rings. I'm kind of lost in the universe and not really getting in with the story. But the gameplay mechanics are fun. Like, I like just sitting down and stabbing a ton of orcs, but,
have you found Schmeagol?
I saw him in the distance.
You saw him in the distance. You need to go and do his storyline. It's awesome.
Right. Yeah, I just, there's that ratty, orc that, is kind of small, and you rescue him, and he's just trying to bargain. I forget what his name is.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't remember it.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at right now. But I've probably sank about like 5 or 6 hours into it. I'm just running around and killing a bunch of people. I've killed almost all of the captains in my area.
Damn, not bad. I remember when I first started the game, and like I stumbled into a camp, and I was like, oh, I could totally take these guys. And I took down 2 of them or whatever, and then got swarmed. And then like one captain showed up, and then another one, and I'm like, oh my god! And I just got killed, and then respawned, and then got killed again, and then respawned and got killed again. I literally set the controller down, and I was like, this game may not be for me. And, and then I ended up platinuming it, so... But yeah, it was
right. It
had a rough start for me, but I ended up really getting into it.
Right. Yeah, that's what everyone in the chat is saying too. But I really enjoy it when there's not 5 captains all at once, because that seems to be like the case. I don't know. Yeah. I just stumble into captains like it's no one's business, and I really don't understand the system too well, but I'm looking into it.
It's pretty cool. I am going to be playing Final Fantasy Type 0. I'm reviewing it this week, so I will probably be playing it all damn week, and probably nothing else but that. However, Mario Party 10 comes out on Friday, and I will probably be playing that this weekend. So if anybody else is getting that, I don't know if you can play online or not, but if you can, let's fucking play that game this weekend.
We're doing it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
MONG plays.
You just want to see your friendship just fall apart, don't you? just watch it crack into little pieces and then crumble to the ground.
Yeah.
Nintendo has officially admitted that it is a friendship ruiner.
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's a good thing we're not friends.
Oh. I'm not even included in this because I can't play it.
Alright, you guys ready for the news from nowhere?
The news from nowhere!
Number 1.
Alright, so the February NPD reports are in, and Nintendo and PlayStation are winning big to no one's surprise. The top software sales were The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, words. Evolve, Dying Light takes number 3. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Grand Theft Auto 5, and NBA 2K15 takes number 6. Dragon Ball Xenoverse takes number 7, and Minecraft, still in the listing, is at number 8, with The Order 1886 at number 9, and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate at number 10. Excuse me. Also, a note is that Majora's Mask sold 515,000 copies digitally and physically, so that's pretty impressive. Yeah. And Monster Hunter 4 sold 290,000 copies digitally and physically. And that's just for America, right?
Maybe?
I believe so. Isn't M4G only America? Or not M4G.
MPD.
Yeah, MPD.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
If that's true, then that's those numbers probably skyrocketed because Monster Hunter's big in Japan. But
yeah, I would think that it would. I would think that it would have sold more than that in Japan alone.
Yeah.
So,
in terms of hardware figures, we're looking at 395,000 3DS family best-selling platform. That sounds like some marketing speak.
Yeah.
The PS4 is the best-selling home console, while the Xbox One follows at 276,000, and the Wii U follows at 94,000. So, good numbers. Console gaming is definitely not dead, as people have been fearing for whatever reason.
or handheld gaming for that matter, with the
That's true.
3DS.
Yeah, it's not a surprise that handheld gaming did so well last month with a new handheld console coming out. Anytime a new one comes out, that's definitely when they skyrocket like that. Otherwise, I don't think 3DS would have been the number one.
I don't know though. I'm really surprised because I didn't think people were going to make that upgrade. I thought that you're gonna have the hardcore Nintendo fans, and that was gonna be it. But apparently, I think more than just the core audience went out.
But
and
it did.
Upgraded.
395,000 of the hardcore Nintendo fans all bought their 3DS last month.
I'm just not 100% sure that that's I don't think that that's all hardcore Nintendo fans. I would be willing to say maybe half of them. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bought one, so there's that.
I think
You
Yep.
bought one?
that confusion.
Totally did. Now, I think it's it's awesome to see that both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are still selling at that rate. February was an awesome month for games, but to sell around 300,000 units is still quite a feat for 1 month. And when you compare it to something like Japan, God, it'd be hard to reach that amount in a month. It'd be hard to reach that amount in a year. Would they reach just over 1 million in a full year? Something like that?
Yeah, they have a lot less
I think
people.
so, yeah.
Oh, I know that. I understand that. But the fact that we could still sell that many consoles on both platforms. But I don't know.
Right.
It's good news. Very good news for the industry that they're still selling so well.
Now, what do you think about the game order? I thought that was interesting. There's a couple things on there. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D.
Not surprising.
I thought that was surprising. I think that's surprising coming in first with just being a 3DS game compared to all the other multi-platform games. Especially
you do understand that the
Evolve.
3DS has more consoles out there than all the other platforms too, right? Like, I mean, people are moving away from last-gen consoles, PS3 and Xbox 360, and the 3DS has more than both the PS4 and Xbox One combined.
Does it?
Yeah, doesn't the...
What about PCs?
PC doesn't count. Doesn't the 3DS have something like 40,000 or something like that?
I don't know.
Or 40 million? Sorry, 40,000.
I'm
wow.
not keeping track of all the...
What I'm getting at is anytime a Legend of Zelda game comes out on 3DS, it does very well, especially a well-known game like Majora's Mask. Like, that's a guarantee it's going to do very well. Now, I was surprised that it hit number one. It depends on what else came out that month. Did it really have to compete with games like Dragon Ball and The Order? Was there ever really competition there? Or Dying Light, a game that came out the previous month? Or Evolve, an experimental 4v1 multiplayer game?
Or The Order, a big AAA exclusive.
That was actually like the first one I listed.
Oh, okay.
I said compare it to. I don't think it had much competition last month. Had it launched next to Grand Theft Auto, had it launched next to Final Fantasy, had it launched next to Bloodborne, had it launched next to The Witcher, anything like that, it would have been 4th or 5th on the list. But it launched next to a bunch of, mid-tier games that got a really bad press, games that had already been out for a while. It had a really good launch time, and it did very well for it.
I also feel like that's probably what pushed a lot of the new 3DSs. I know they didn't have they had the Majora's Mask 3DS, which for whatever reason did not come with the game. But I feel like everyone was like, "Oh, that Majora's Mask game is coming out. I might as well go ahead and splurge and get the new Nintendo, whatever they're calling this one, the XL 3DS Super Edition." And also, it's like, personally, that would have been a driving force for me, because I tried playing Ocarina of Time. On the 3DS, and the lack of the extra thumbstick was just killing me. Like, beyond the fact that my hands are, gargantuan, I can hold the world in my hands, I was just sitting there like, I feel all of the cramps that I could ever experience in every muscle I didn't know I had in my hands. So, I feel like even for an average consumer, that might have been enough, maybe.
Yeah. The C-Stick was the reason I upgraded. That was the sole purpose I wanted to upgrade. The extra processing power obviously is a help, but it wasn't what sold me on it.
Right.
I didn't know
that sold me. Yeah, it's much quicker, much better. That's really what sold me, because I like those small under the hood changes more than anything. Yeah, I'm very excited. It's starting me up on a 3DS renaissance again. I've been going around and playing my SteamWorld Digs and my Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and all that stuff, which I normally wasn't playing beforehand.
Yeah. I know I bought it 3 weeks ago now, and I haven't played a single game on it yet. Erica has played Tomodachi Life non-stop on it.
Right.
She's monopolized the 3DS. I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't have anything I really, really want to play right away.
Then again, it also came out in a very busy month for you with the Order Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. It was a busy month for me.
Final Fantasy. No wonder you can't touch it.
I'm
At
okay
least it's
with
getting
it. Yeah, at
right?
least it is getting used. That's a good point.
It's better than just sitting in. I don't even know where my Vita is. Oh, there it is. I just found it for the first time in 3 weeks. But
All right, ready to move on?
yeah.
Story number 2. As everybody knows by now, Uncharted 4 has officially been delayed. It is not coming out in 2015. This news comes from a note by the game's developer or directors Bruce Straley and Neil Druckmann on the official PlayStation blog. It begins by saying that the game has become much more ambitious than they originally envisioned, and it goes on to talk about what brought them to the decision of delaying the game until spring 2016. The quote says, "After spending so many years with Nathan Drake, he means a lot to the team, and telling the climactic chapter of his adventures is a task we don't take lightly. This game deserves every bit of the attention to detail, precise pacing, and nuanced storytelling Naughty Dog is known for. So we've made the difficult choice of pushing the game's release date. Giving us a few extra months will make certain that Uncharted 4: A Thief's End not only meets the team's high standards, but the high standards that gamers have come to expect from a Naughty Dog title." The note ends by saying that the team is hopeful gamers will remain patient as the game continues development. Are you surprised?
No, not really, I guess. They just premiered it at E3 last year, so it kind of makes sense they need a little extra time.
Yep.
I mean, also, correct me if I'm wrong, climactic. Have they announced that there's going to be more after this, or was this supposed to be the last one? Or have they not said anything about it?
They have not said anything about it, but, okay, I'm going to sound like a pretentious asshole when I talk about this story and everything I say. But,
Right.
I mean, the title is A Thief's End. I've been saying all along that is a clue right there that they're moving on from Nathan Drake. They're moving on from the series. If it continues, another company's going to do it, another developer, not Naughty Dog. And so that was just another drop, climactic. It's the end of Nathan Drake. It's the end of Uncharted for Naughty Dog. At least that's the way it appears.
I completely misinterpreted that in my head. Disregard that. I was thinking climax, story-wise, when the climax is, near the end, but not the end.
Oh,
And then I was like, what would they do after this? Uncharted, the geriatric adventure? So, never mind that.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yeah, this one doesn't surprise me at all. This was gonna probably be on my predictions for the year if we kept going on longer, if it wasn't just the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
But there was so much issues with it last year that it honestly doesn't come as much of a surprise. And this is only their first delay. They've done this with other projects. They did it with The Last of Us, so it's not a sign of anything bad. We want them to polish the game and just make it all around better. And they certainly have the time to do that. And everyone's going to buy it regardless, so.
Yeah. And, like you just said, one of your predictions, this was also going to be one of mine. And then I saw that Sean was going to predict it, and so I decided to just change my prediction to another delay. But I've been saying all along that this game was going to be delayed because Naughty Dog is that company that they want to perfect their game. Saying it's going to come out at fall 2014 or 2015, all it takes is one little thing, and they're going to be like, you know what? We need another 6 months. Give us time. We're going to make it awesome. You're going to love it.
Right.
And it's just, that's a Naughty Dog thing to do. So it doesn't surprise me in the least. But we do have a question about this story from Toonday. He emailed us at contact.mong@gmail.com, and he asked, do you think that people are overblowing how much Uncharted 4 being delayed will affect the PlayStation 4 sales this holiday?
No.
I think it'll totally affect the PlayStation 4 sales. I was like, of course it's gonna impact the sales if it's not coming out.
What do you think?
I think the PS4 is going to do fine, honestly. Like it doesn't have the strongest lineup of games, but we've seen that like people enjoy their PS4s. It keeps selling, and it's beating out Microsoft. It's beating out Microsoft. It's beating out the Wii U, to no one's surprise. I think PS4 is going to do just fine over the holidays. They probably have something else lined up that's going to be like gangbusters for it. I mean, if it starts to fail, especially during the holiday season, I'll be highly surprised.
Yeah, I do not see the PlayStation 4 suffering this fall. You can't say that it's not going to suffer in any way, because not having the number one AAA game does make some people be like, oh, well, then I'm just going to wait to buy it. But that doesn't mean that it's going to suffer. That doesn't mean that it's going to dip down and it's going to start losing the race or the battle for several months on end. The PlayStation 4 has proved time and time again that it doesn't need, 100 AAA titles coming out every month just to have it win. It's been doing just fine on indie games. If the one thing I keep looking at is that a lot like I was listening to Colin and Greg live earlier in the week, where they were talking about how Xbox doesn't have a lot of news coming out on a day-to-day basis. PlayStation does. They use the PlayStation blog, and they announce indie games coming. They announce launch dates. They release trailers. They announce all this stuff. When there is constantly PlayStation news coming out, people think that the PlayStation's doing better. People think that the PlayStation is these console to play on because it has so many games. And it doesn't matter that it's fucking Halo. It doesn't matter that it's Uncharted. It matters that it's SteamWorld Dig. It matters that it's that game that Miles is so excited for. The space game.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. And those little games, when you see that there's 3 or 4 of them coming out every freaking week, there's games to play. And that's what matters to most people. They want to play games, and they don't care that it's a $60, 40-hour romp. They want to play games no matter what it is. And so, just constant news, it's by attrition, PlayStation is winning.
I think that you're still being a little too optimistic about it, if I'm being completely honest. I think that
you're being pessimistic.
I think they're winning right now, and they deserve to be. That's messaging. That's how they're able to broadcast. That's them constantly getting their news out there. And I mean, I would say that that's more the fault of Xbox and Xbox Wire than anything, because I think that they do a very poor job at getting their news out there, like PlayStation does. But right now, everything's fine. It's still a year and a half into the PlayStation 4 life cycle, but the longer that goes on without, big name, proper exclusives, there are people who are getting burned. They're not us. We're not those people. But there are people out there who are looking forward to these games, to the Uncharted. That's why a lot of them bought the PlayStation were for the exclusives. And when they're thinking exclusives, they're not thinking Velocity 2X. They're not thinking the Swapper. Unfortunately, they're thinking Uncharted 4. And I think in the face of the brand new Tomb Raider, which is going to be coming out, it's
so far we think it's coming out.
Yeah, if there's not a delay, and of course there probably will be a delay. But, in the face of that and Master Chief, Halo 5, I think that they're definitely going to be burned a little this holiday season. There's still going to be a ton of people that buy it, but not nearly the same amount that if Uncharted 4 was coming out.
Again, like I said, I think you're just being pessimistic about it, because I don't think it's going to have that much of a difference. With the fact that they've already sold over 20 million consoles, how many more are they really going to sell in one Christmas holiday? And not only that, is they've delayed it to spring 2016. Most people who are going to be buying a console are parents buying them for their kids. And if they know that game is coming out a few months after Christmas, they would want to get them the console for Christmas and not wait until spring to buy them the game. So a portion of those people who you say are going to wait to buy their PlayStation 4s aren't actually going to wait. They're going to buy it ahead of time. If they have to buy it 4 months ahead of time, then so be it. They're going to get their consoles. It's not just going to cut it down to 10% of people are going to buy their consoles now because of Uncharted being delayed. It's going to be hurt. There's going to take a dip in it that it would have sold, but I just still don't think that it's going to be enough to make a huge impact. It's going to hurt. But then again, we also know that Sony has every single first party working on games. What if they come out at E3 or Gamescom and they just announce some huge ass games that are either also coming out this fall or that are coming out in spring also? that excitement, that brand new excitement that we don't know about yet, is going to cause even more people to buy the console because of the excitement. They're not
Right, and that's what they
until,
have to do.
They're not going to wait until day and date with a game release to get a console.
Right.
I just think what I'm saying is I think they're going to be fine. It's not going to take a huge dip.
Well, of course they're going to be fine. They've sold millions of these things. Literally.
Yeah.
There's no way that it's going to take a downturn unless they go like 4 years without selling a console. I'm just saying that you want to be the major you want to be the thing on everyone's minds and everyone's lips during the holiday, and they need to come out of E3, I think, with some things for the fall and for the winter. Because right now we have a very clear lineup, and it is close to E3. We're probably going to get those things.
Yep.
But I think we need them.
Oh yeah. Miles, anything else to say?
I mean, that's it. Just like, if they destroy like they did at last year's E3, then they're golden. If not, then they're probably silver. I mean.
Probably silver.
I mean, that's the best way.
Wii U's gonna overtake.
That's second place, Miles.
The Wii U will never overtake.
No.
No, it's gonna be the Ouya.
Oh, burn. Okay, so story number 3. Slightly Mad Studios' highly anticipated sim racer, Project Cars, has been delayed yet again. Project Cars originally dated to release March 2015. Well, actually, I think it was originally supposed to release last fall, I believe, and then it was March 2015. Anyways, it was delayed again to be in April, and now it's been pushed back to mid-May. News comes by way of a press release sent out on March 11th. Reasons cited for the delay include bug fixing and overall polish to the game. Studio head Ian Bell said the following in the press release. Despite our long heritage and pedigree in making critically acclaimed racing games, Project Cars is by far the grandest and most intricately detailed of them. Despite their... okay. I have part of the sentence cut off on my screen. Detailed of them all. Despite, therefore, the game being 99.9% complete, the remaining 0.1% attending to small issues and bugs have been tricky to anticipate. We're absolutely dedicated to delivering a groundbreaking experience, and by targeting mid-May, fans can be assured that's what they'll receive. They'll also reveal they plan to reward gamers upon the release of the game with a gift, although what exactly that gift would be was not detailed.
Are they going to pull an Oprah and give everybody a free car? Because it's the only way I'm getting this game.
Oh, shit.
I just imagine, I don't know if you guys watch The Office, but you probably don't. There's always the people who are like, oh no, I got a gift in the hand. And, they're like, what's the gift? Can I see it? And you're just like, yeah, no, I promise it's in there. Just come with me. They don't have anything planned.
I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, I mean, still the only thing I can say about the game is it looks pretty, but like, it's another situation where they've delayed it so far into oblivion that's just like, give it up or release it. I mean, stop.
Yeah, they need to give it up because Drive Club ruined their message, I think. I think that Drive Club left enough of a bad taste in their mouth because they were basically announced at the same time and they're very kind of indistinguishable from one another. I think that they're going to go and look at Project Cars and just go, I don't want to risk it. It doesn't look like a game for me. It's probably not going to work. They've delayed it so many times. There's no good press about this game.
Yeah. I'm not a racing game fan, so I've never been excited about this game at all. But it does look pretty. I can say that. It does look very pretty.
That's my only message to them. Give me a free car. I will patronize you and buy your game. If not, it's not going in my console. But, so.
Moving on.
Are you ready to move on? Yeah.
Moving on.
A Titanfall sequel is officially in the works, and we know it'll be released on multiple platforms. Vince Zampella, founder and CEO of Respawn Entertainment, has confirmed that the development studio is currently working on a sequel to last year's multiplayer-only shooter Titanfall. He stated that it will be released on multi-platforms, so, it's official, which will bring the franchise to the PlayStation 4, because that's the only one we care about, right? To quote him, I guess EA announced the sequel, so I could play coy and pretend I don't know anything about it, or ... yeah, so we're working on a sequel. No official name yet, but we're working on that. That's the main focus, but we're starting up a second team and doing some smaller stuff too. Small, exploratory, taking it slow. It'll be multi-platform. Titanfall released in March of 2014 and was exclusive to Xbox consoles, as well as being released in the PC. So it's not really exclusive, but people say that. Respawn COO, Dusty Welch, noted that the decision to limit the game to one console's ecosystem was always strictly a business move. It's something Respawn would like to have been different, mainly due to the PlayStation 4's very strong sales success since launch.
So, is this one a surprise?
No. To no one.
Said that the week after it came out. They're like, oh, it might be multi-platform next time. Might be.
And then, like, there was, like, the Vincent Impella basically saying, oh, we had no idea that there was a deal done about the exclusivity or whatever. Like, well, that was after their announcement, wasn't it?
I don't even remember all that much.
So. I forget. I'm drinking. I got an excuse.
Yeah, everybody's been saying all along that this is going to be coming multi-platform, and it's not surprising. Staying an exclusive game like that, it's hard to win, you know? It's hard to win as an exclusive game on any platform, especially in the case of Titanfall on a platform that had just launched and that was lagging behind its competition by so far. Like, right. That was a tough uphill battle Titanfall had, and it didn't do as well as it should have.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see it come multi-platform because we are going to kick some ass in the frickin' sequel. Oh my god!
I'm not good at these games.
You're going to kick it.
It's like an FPS, man.
Yeah, I'm not good at those games.
It's like FPS, man.
Just use the smart pistol all the time. You'll never lose.
Okay.
I mean, I'm legit excited for this. I was excited for Titanfall originally, and I played the beta like for a unsettling amount of time on my PC. So it's like, yeah, it's a good game. I know it gets railed a lot, but it was legit entertaining. I had fun, and I mean, I want to see what they're going to do in the next one. Apparently, they showed an image of one of the new Titans, which I have yet to look up, but I've heard it looked cool. Kind of like more streamlined and not as bulky.
Yeah.
Right.
I have Titanfall, and I still have yet to play it.
That's how you do it.
I don't have enough time for this. I have too many games.
Plus, you're going to jump into it, and everyone's going to be a pro.
I know. Well, it's a good thing I'm a pro at FPS games. So.
Oh, okay.
It's like I'm one of those people who can put down Call of Duty for 2 years and pick it back up and then still do really well. So that's because my teenage years were spent in sports and playing Call of Duty and Halo. So, like, all the time, I didn't play anything other than those games from the time I was 14 until the time I was, like, 19.
Oh, and if you do have it, all the DLC is free right now. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, I already have all the DLC. I grabbed all that
I downloaded it too. The only competitive multiplayer game I've ever played is, for FPS is Blacklight Retribution.
Oh god, that game was bad.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, that's my history. Though I was pretty good at Blacklight. Because no one else plays it.
Hey, Blacklight is also fun. I just hate that you like have to spend real world money to get weapons and actually keep them. That's ridiculous if you ask me. But
I don't think any of the weapons are better than the original.
They're not better, but there's like I'm a stats person. If I see green, I want that weapon.
Right. All right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Nintendo has announced that their interactive amiibo figures have sold 3.5 million units in the U.S. alone. Launched in November 2014, Americans have demonstrated an insatiable thirst for amiibo. Many figures have sold out and almost immediately upon release and have not been seen since. It makes you wonder how many figures would have sold if supply had met demand. I would say less, but we'll talk about that later. Nintendo also stated that Super Smash Bros. For Wii U has sold 1.5 million copies in the U.S. Uncle Sam sure does love him some Smash. The Super Mario line of amiibo launches on March 20th, while Wave 4 of the Super Smash Bros. Figures will launch sometime this spring. So there's a good question in there. If the supply wasn't limited, do you think it would sell more or less?
Well, being as Nintendo always creates their own demand.
Artificial demand?
Yeah. It's hard to say. Probably it would have sold less just because so many people want all of them because they're so hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right.
like that's just people just have to have those rare ones, and so it's sold more than that.
Right. It's become a collector's item. That's why people buy it.
Sorry, go ahead. I have no reason to buy Amiibos, but I thought I saw a rare one in GameStop last night, and I had a moment of, oh god, I need to buy that so no one else can have it. I can sell it on eBay. So that might be where they're getting some of their sales from.
Probably, yeah. I know there's several people out there who have bought multiple of each Amiibo, which just blows my mind. I feel like that's going to be Lou one day. He's going to have a full room of Amiibo. He's going to have like lines of 100 of each figure.
That is a horrifying thought. Like, that's like the ghost houses with like the dolls, except for their Amiibos.
I'm seeing Lou's future. I'm channeling Lou.
I don't have them with me right now, so that's saying something. They're in my room currently, just sitting around watching me.
Creepy.
But yeah, I'm still getting all the Super Mario Amiibo. I'm still obsessive, and I'm going to be camping out this week to get the gold one.
All right, that'll be awesome. I can't wait. You're gonna have to do like a video or something for it, or some sort of a feature on it. Be like, this is me holding it. I love it.
It's like the Blair Witch Project, except the Gold Amiibo Project.
Yeah, there you go.
Everyone's gonna be looking at you like, he's crazy. I don't want to be near this guy. Oh, that's how you get to the first spot in line. Act crazy. No one will want to stay in front of you.
I will fuck all of you up. Get out of my fucking way.
All right. So
let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Nintendo is entering into a partnership with DNA. Is that how you say it? Maybe DNA? I'm not sure. D lowercase e NA, a Japanese mobile company to develop and operate new game apps for smart devices and build a new multi-device membership service for consumers worldwide. The press release reads as follows. This can be long, so just follow me through it. Leveraging the strength of Nintendo's intellectual property, IP, and game development skills in combination with DNA's world-class expertise in mobile games, both companies will develop and operate new game apps based on Nintendo IP, including its iconic game characters for smart devices. The alliance is intended to complement Nintendo's dedicated video game systems business and extend Nintendo's reach into the vast market of smart device users worldwide. Using the alliance, DNA will also be able to strengthen its gaming business as a global scale by leveraging Nintendo's IP. To ensure the quality of game experience that consumers expect from this alliance of Nintendo and DNA, only new original games optimized for smart device functionality will be created, rather than porting games created specifically for the Wii U home console or the Nintendo 3DS portable system. The press release also states that all of Nintendo's IP will be eligible for development on mobile. They will let many more users play with them and possibly be tempted to enjoy even more premium experiences on Nintendo's dedicated platforms. I believe that DNA additionally has worked with Square Enix. I think that's true. And after this announcement, Nintendo's stock prices rose 21%.
Yeah.
Impressive.
It was a really smart investment. I mean, Nintendo wanted to get into the mobile space, but they didn't want to do it when there was too much risk. You know, like they didn't want to develop, they don't want to get into it and have some shitty developer make a Mario game that just totally flops, or make 10 Mario games that totally flop. And they finally got the right partner.
Right. I wish I knew more about them, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to figure out what else they've done and if I've even heard of them. But from what it sounds, they sound like one of the biggest Japanese game.
Yeah, they're a huge mobile one over there.
Right.
I'm kind of wondering if, like, you know, constantly there are these like little like dollar app games that are like not official. They're like not custom, but indie made, and they always use Nintendo's assets, like the tubes and I think not Flappy Bird, but like one of the Flappy Bird clones. Like, you know, they just blatantly rip off Nintendo stuff. I'm kind of wondering if someone from Nintendo has been like seeing that and they're just like, why haven't we been doing this? We can make so much money off of this.
Right. Well, they've been saying for years that they don't want to go into mobile games. They just felt like the experiences aren't proper. I'm glad that they chose to do it. I think that there's gonna be games that they could move onto the platform. I'm not sure what games yet.
Well, they're not porting any games to mobile. That's
right.
That's one thing they made clear. They're just gonna use IP like Mario and Zelda and make new mobile only games.
Right, but that doesn't mean that there aren't series that would work better on mobile platforms. For instance, if they were to do a Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem would work amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
Unlike Smash Bros, which would be like just a clunky, practice and infuriating experiences. But
now, what I've been saying all along is that Nintendo needs to go into a partnership with Sony and Microsoft and let them have the IP and make games on those platforms, because then we'll have better selling games. But no, this is really good news for Nintendo. I'm really glad to see that they made this decision. And I'm even more glad about the next news story.
Oh, that segue.
The next news story. In the same announcement, Iwata revealed that Nintendo has not lost sight of dedicated game consoles, and that they are working on a platform utilizing a completely new concept, codenamed NX.
Ooh.
His statement reads as follows: as proof that Nintendo maintains strong enthusiasm for the dedicated game system business, let me confirm that Nintendo is currently developing a dedicated game platform with a brand new concept under the development codename NX. It is too early to elaborate on the details of this project, but we hope to share more information with you next year.
Oh man.
That's actually exciting.
Next gen Nintendo.
That excites me.
That makes me really, really excited. I mean, we've all known this is coming. We've heard the rumors. We've seen the leaked documents. We've seen all of that stuff happen. So we knew this was in the works, but to finally see Iwata recognize that and just blatantly say it. Just be like, yep, we're working on it, guys. Give us time. We're going to talk about it later. Like, that's a really good sign. I'm really glad to hear that they know that the Wii U isn't going to ever resurrect itself to be what they want it to be, and that they're working on what's coming next.
Now, I want to know if they're going to make a return to controllers. I will buy Nintendo again if they stop making me waggle a remote around. There we go.
I guarantee you they will.
I pray to God.
I don't think that they can go another lifespan. I think that those games don't sell well anymore, and they've realized that because not enough people have bought the Wii U who were into those games to begin with. So if they ever try to release stuff like that, it doesn't sell well. Their major selling games have all been the Bayonettas, the Super Smash Bros., and everything that requires a normal controller.
Also, Pokemon on that. Pokemon on my TV.
It's never happening. I'm gonna say that.
It has to!
It has happened already. It will happen again. They had the Coliseum games, and the DX Coliseum, and the XGG Coliseums, I don't know.
XL.
XL Coliseums. They had all the Coliseums. Now I just need them to be like, we're going to take the experience that you get on Game Boy, the turn-based, go catch them all, and put it on your TV in beautiful graphics. And hopefully the NX will have like 1080p and not... Wait, does the Wii U have 1080p?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they already got that done. And they just need to get the Pokemon on there, and I'll be happy, and I'll buy their stuff again.
All right.
We've got the 1080ps. They just don't have the processing power to make the realistic 1080ps like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One has.
Gotcha.
Right. So, one last question. And this kind of comes from Rock Chalk for Life 69. That's over in the chat. But he says a return to VR for Nintendo.
Whoa.
Now there is a chance that there's going to be a gimmick because that's what Nintendo's been doing. Motion controls, tablets. What do you think the gimmick's going to be? Or is the gimmick going to be no gimmick, a return to the hardcore market?
I hope
it's no gimmick. Like, when he said we're going to new technologies, I hope they just meant, like, new for them because they haven't done it in forever.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping it goes back to GameCube, where it's just a weird controller, but nothing gimmicky. Well, I guess even the GameCube was gimmicky. The fact that they had the fucking tiny-ass disc. Like, what the fuck, Nintendo? Every console, I question their intelligence.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna say there is a gimmick.
What do you think?
I would like to say VR. I don't think they're gonna do VR because they're spotted history with Virtual Boy. So if I can't go VR, or I'm choosing not to go VR, I'm gonna say that they're about to make the Fusion platform. The handheld / home console.
Yeah.
mix.
That would be the most gimmicky thing I could see them doing too. The 3DS / Wii U, basically.
Right, though I think it'll be more of a Game Boy. I don't think they're gonna do the dual screens anymore. I don't think they're utilizing that as much as they hoped they would.
Maybe.
Interesting. I actually like that idea. I don't mind the idea of like back when the first Vita had the TV hookups, so you could you actually, I don't know if you could actually play it on your TV, but that was an interesting idea. I could go for that.
And their wireless technology or whatever to be able to play whatever game you're playing on your handheld on the TV and have it be the same experience, the same graphical quality and all that. That would be really awesome if Nintendo did that. Like, that would actually be the whole... Everybody jokes about how Nintendo's not current gen, how they're last gen, how all that stuff. Like, that would really put Nintendo out there as being a next gen console. And it would shut up a lot of people if they were able to succeed with doing that.
Well, by that point, it would literally be next gen. It would be the following gen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think we might have exhausted that so far. We might go back to it if there's more news, but we've only got the NX comment.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to move on to listener questions?
Yep. So now is the section where we go into listener questions, and we've already answered our one that was sent to us by email. So if anybody has any questions that we can talk about or answer or, cuss and discuss, go ahead and send it to us in the Twitch chat, and we'll read off your name, we'll read off your question, and then we'll talk about it. I know there's a 30-second delay between the time I'm saying this and the time they actually see it. So do you guys have any questions you want to talk about?
There is a question here.
Okay.
They got the question out earlier. Harry Houini says, wow, fellows. I saw boobs in Far Cry 3. I like them. But in a game, I don't think they belong. What say you dudes?
Boobs in a game?
Boobs in a game.
Well, I mean, I just recently played The Order 1886 where there were vampire dicks. So there was dicks all over in that game, it felt like. So I don't know. I honestly don't think that we should hold games to any different standard than TV shows or movies or anything like that, in the fact that we can't have nudity or cussing or blood and gore or anything like that, or sex scenes. Like, I think that if it's a mature game, then it can have whatever it wants in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that there can be nudity. Let's get this out of the way. But I think that the games have to work around where and how they put it in.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4 had it very briefly. It was just like a flash of it. And honestly, not that I subscribe to everything Anita Sarkeesian says, but I think that she does make a point where they just throw it in there to, so they're there. They're not there to help further a plot or do anything. They're just there for the fantasy aspect, and that's fine. But they're unnecessary, and they don't really broaden games as art. Not that all games have to be art, but there's definitely a tasteful way to do boobs in a storyline and genitalia and vampire dicks.
I think it depends on what kind of game you're talking about, though, because I don't see anything distasteful about the way that it was handled in Far Cry, because it was a native of an island who they don't dress, like we do anyways. They have their own ways, and the fact that we get to see boobs in that game is more about their culture or anything like that than it is about us living in fantasy. Of course, there was a sex scene and everything like that, but I still think that that's a much more tasteful way of handling it than a game like the mobile game Game of War, where they have fucking tits hanging out, riding a horse, watching them bounce up and down. That's not tasteful. That is over-sexualizing it. That is where it shouldn't be. But a game like Far Cry, where it's very brief and like I said, it was cultural more so than it was just about showing boobs.
It was cultural in a sense that there are cultures that do that, but nearly everyone else there wasn't walking around topless. In fact, almost everyone there was wearing normal clothes for the most part.
Yeah, but you also got to have sex.
Oh, well, I didn't play Far Cry 3. I'm basing it off of Far Cry 4, where it was just like two nude women at a fighting pit.
Oh.
But I do think that, for instance, Dragon Age Inquisition, that was fine. It was a sex scene.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was definitely part of an ingrained story plot where you were furthering a romance, and it all felt very natural.
Yeah. Just like everyone said, there has to be a reason for it. Like, just having like boobs every 50 seconds for no reason. That's not a good game. That's just some kind of crap, honestly. But I mean, sex scenes in BioWare games, if you can even call them that, really, because they're very toned down. Well, not toned down, but it's nothing serious.
Softcore.
Honestly.
Very
So
softcore.
softcore, yeah.
Right.
That's
and
what
I think
it's just. Go ahead.
I was going to say the most important thing that Chryson is bringing up in the chat right now, he says the only problem with nudity in a game is a specific family member will walk in on you. At only that point.
That's why you need a TV in your room.
Yeah. And a lock.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's something that just comes with the relative, not relatively, but like just, it's an M-rated game. You have to expect there are going to be mature themes, obviously. So it's going to happen. So.
Yep.
Right.
All right, now we got a question from Rock Chalk for Life, which is Tom, I believe. He asks, who is stoked for Jason in Mortal Kombat X?
Not I, sir.
And
Not
I think you would be the only one who would be excited out of all of us, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't play fighting games.
I don't play fighting games.
So, yeah.
I don't know why I don't like with Freddy that they put him in MK9. I didn't like that. I don't know why, because like when they teased Predator being in there, I was like, yeah, do that. That sounds great. But when they said Jason was, I'm like, no, it's a horrible idea. I can't really explain it. It seems stupid.
I'm excited to watch the fatalities. Because I will watch those clips.
Yeah.
And that's really just about it for me.
Next question is from Got It Made 43, who is Josh, and he asks, if you could have any announced game right now, what would it be and why?
No Man's
Oh,
All right,
sorry.
we're assuming they're completed, right? We're not just getting them in the state
Yes,
they're in. Right, this question.
assuming the game can be shipped to you, completed, all ready to go.
Mine's gonna be The Legend of Zelda for Wii U.
I knew it was going to be that.
That is a great game. I
Why?
already look at it and I know it. The horses don't run into the trees.
Realistic horses. Oh.
But yeah, that's probably my go-to so far. And if it weren't that, it would probably be Firewatch.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
That's a
choice.
good one, yeah. Now, Miles, I cut you off. I'm sorry about that, but what was yours?
Mine was No Man's Sky simply because, like, I'm so excited for that game, and I want to find out what you can actually do in the game.
Yeah.
And, like, how much they're actually, bringing to us in terms of what they've said. Like, Infinite Universe, all that stuff. I'm just hype, and I want to finally play it. And, like, can I be a pirate that shoots people and steals their cargo? If so, I'm the happiest man in the world.
Now, my game has always been Tales of Zestiria, because Tales is my favorite franchise, and that game looks awesome. However, after this morning, now I would much rather have Final Fantasy 15 right now. I want to play that game so goddamn bad now. After playing that demo, which is tying into our next question from Jake, and he said, Courtney, what are your thoughts on the Final Fantasy 15 demo? Holy fuck, Jake. Holy fuck. It was awesome. You have to play it. It was so good. And the stumbling into quests and making money so that you could repair the car, and then the big ass monsters you could fight, and the boobs, and
I have a question.
It was really, really good. It was really good. Highly recommend it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can you live stream it again?
Can I live stream it again? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait until, maybe the weekend, people have time off, they could watch a full playthrough of it, because I think a lot of people had work today, and of course they could go back and watch it in the highlights, but we want to be part of that commentary.
Yeah. We have it uploaded on our highlights on twitch.tv/mongplays, and it's up on YouTube now, youtube.com. You just search for Mong Plays or Middle of Nowhere Gaming on there. You can find it there. But I would love to live stream it again. So, not today, since I just played through it. But if you give me towards the end of the week or this weekend, I would absolutely love to play it again and live stream it again.
It's a date.
It's a date.
All right.
We had
next question.
Oh yeah, we had another question. This one's from Chrisson. He says, do you think the NX will have any sort of launch day set of virtual console games for us old folk?
Um,
I'm going to say yes. It's going to work around the gimmick, though. That's the thing. If let's say it's virtual reality, they're gonna do something like Duck Hunt or so. I don't know what they're gonna do, but if they end up doing what I think the mobile fusion platform is, they're gonna have some of those beautifully remastered Wii U, Game Boy Advance games that can also be taken on the road with you as a portable game.
Pokemon?
Pokemon? Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah, as a non-Nintendo person currently, Lou's guess is my guess, I guess.
Yeah. I don't really know. I'm going to go with Lou's answer, though, because it sounded smart and educated.
Yeah.
Same thing.
All right, here, I have a question.
Okay.
They've been doing virtual console games.
Yeah.
Another Nintendo question, so just prepare yourself. They've been doing the virtual console games, and this has been going on for a while. They really haven't upgraded. Do you think we're ever going to see virtual console GameCube games?
Oh, God, I hope. That would be nice.
Probably.
This generation?
No.
No.
I think they're basically giving up on Wii U's platform in the sense that they're not going to add anything crazy like that.
Right.
If they're going to do it, it's going to be the next gen. It's going to be NX, not this one. I see it happening, I obviously hope they do it, but I just don't see it happening on the Wii U.
Right.
I mean, I want to play Gotcha Force every day. I wake up, I'm just like, I don't have a GameCube anymore. I can't play Gotcha Force. My life is not complete. So, I mean, once they do that, I probably won't buy the console again just for that. But
what is that game?
Gotcha Force? It's the best game you'll ever play on a GameCube, good sir.
Okay.
Not true, Chibi Robo.
Not true.
Gotcha Force is better.
Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life.
Not
Gotcha.
true, Final Fantasy Chronicles.
I'm gonna keep saying the same thing over and over again. Gotcha Force.
Not true. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Anyway,
Actually,
to
that
summarize
was really
it.
good.
Go on.
Go ahead.
To summarize it, it's a arena fighter. So I'm sucker for that kind of stuff. Each match is you set up in a new arena and you fight all the other guys, and the story is like about sentient toys that get sent down to Earth essentially. And it sounds really silly, but the gameplay is amazing, even though the story and the voice acting are god awful. So I remember like spending hours upon hours upon hours making the perfect team of the cheapest characters. Who were like, your team has a point value, so I got like 100 of the same ninja that just does a spinning attack that you can't really dodge. There's nostalgia in it for me. In all seriousness now. But yeah, that's my pick.
Right. All right. Do we have any more questions from the audience?
What crazy name do you think will take the place, or what? Okay, what crazy name will Nintendo name the NX from Rock Chalk for Life?
After it moves from being the NX to an actual person's name, Michael.
Michael. The Wii U 2 NX XL.
The new Wii U 2.
Oh, I know. The Wii U.
Oh, God. That's a good one.
Oh, I'm trying to remember which Nintendo system this is on the last. I think this is the N8. So this is Nintendo 8's eighth platform. I'm trying to think if there's anything good. I really want them to bring back the Super.
Super Wii U?
No, they're dropping the Wii U brand. That's done forever.
They better.
Never again.
Super Nintendo 2. That would be good. I would actually be okay with that.
Yeah?
I could go for that.
Wii U and me.
They'll take a hint from Malibu's Most Wanted and make it like the Super. What did they say? The Gamecast or the Dreamcube? Has anyone seen the movie?
No.
The Game Box.
Okay, never mind. Anyone who's seen that movie, Gamecast. That's what's gonna happen.
All right. Okay, so let's wrap up the listener questions and move on to the game releases this week.
Dude.
Motherfucker, of course we get a question right as we do it. Okay, do you want to answer this one?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
be quick.
Let's go with this one.
All right, last question for Mr. J. Moonshine. How do you see video games progressing in the future? Many people have said VR. What are your thoughts? I think, if I'm answering first, that it's going to continue to get more broad. I think that VR is going to be the future, but also playing on the couch is going to be the future, and somehow motion controls are still going to be the future. I think that we're seeing a broadening of what video games are and how people want to interact with their video games. People are using fitness video games now. People are using fitness apps on their phone, just apps on their phone that are game related. There are more ways than ever to experience video games, and I think that that's the direction we're going to be going to. It's not going to be one solid direction.
Yeah. Kind of like yours. I kind of see it going in the sense that games are going to be playable on everything. So like, you know, like we were saying about the NX, how it could be the fusion device, so you could play it on your handheld, you could play it on your TV, and that could go for also VR and motion controls. Like everything can be included, but doesn't have to be.
Right.
Something like that. But I don't know. I definitely don't think VR is the only future. It's not all future. That's not what it's going to be. VR, I think, is going to be a gimmick for a long time, before it's ever just the only way to do anything.
Now, I think this is probably considered VR, but it's a specific idea. And I think Ray Bradbury had it right when he wrote about it in Fahrenheit 451, if anyone else was forced to read that for school. It was the idea that, like, pretty much it was a room, like a whole room with the walls, the ceiling. Room. Yeah, essentially a holodeck. Oh, that's perfect. Star Trek, holodeck. I would love to have that, but not with all the issues they had with it in Star Trek, where, you know, stuff can murder you. Just give me, like, that complete immersion, and I'll be happy. Just don't kill me while I'm in it, because that would be really unfortunate.
Sword Art Online type VR.
No.
There you go.
See, a lot of people say that the issue with VR is that it's a very solitary way to play video games. But in my head, I'm thinking most of the time I'm just sitting there on my couch playing my Vita anyway. What's the difference if it's mounted on my head?
Well, it depends on how the VR is implemented. You're assuming that it's just going to be like a TV screen in front of your eyes.
Oh, it can be.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, how it's implemented. Most games that people have seen so far for VR aren't that way. They include some sort of a motion control, some sort of a hand movement, some sort of another controller in their hands doing random things. And a lot of people don't want to do this the entire time they're playing a game. They want to sit down and not move and hold their controller in their hands, on their lap. You know, like that's, if it's somehow, and I could still sit there, not move, and hold a controller, then I'm all for it. Bring fucking VR on. I will absolutely do that. But if it's anything else, then that's where it's a gimmick, and I just don't want to do that. I don't want to run around my house and act like I'm swinging a sword and trip over a fucking shoe and fall and faceplant. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
Right.
Well, those are our thoughts on video games' future.
Yep. Okay, so now we'll move on to the video game releases this week, before we wrap up the podcast.
The video game present.
Okay, on PlayStation 4, we've got Battlefield Hardline, Bladestorm Nightmare, Cabela's African Adventures, Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, Jamestown Plus, Resident Evil 4, and Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2. On PlayStation 3, you have 5-Star Wrestling, The Awakened Fate Ultimatum, Battlefield Hardline, Bladestorm Nightmare, Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 4, Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, and Tennis in the Face, which is 3-way cross-buy. And then on Vita, you've got Soldner X2 Final Prototype and Tennis in the Face.
All right. For Xbox One, you're looking at Battlefield Hardline, Bladestorm Nightmare, Cabela's African Adventures, Final Fantasy Type 0 X, or HD, not X, Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 4. For Xbox 360, you're looking at Battlefield Hardline, as well as Tales from the Borderlands, and Resident Evil Revelations 2 Episode 4. Ugh.
For the Wii U, we have Pentapuzzle!
All caps.
And Mario Party 10. For 3DS, you're getting Iron Combat War in the Air, which I believe is Amiibo compatible, maybe? Navy Commander and Fossil Fighters Frontier. I got kind of shafted this week. I only have 5.
For PC, you're looking at Battlefield Hardline, Enemy, which is the most basic name I've ever seen for a game before.
Not Rogue?
I feel like Enemy's more basic. Rogue is like, oh, where are they Rogue from? Enemy's just like, okay, I need to shoot that guy, I guess. You're also looking at Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas, Starcrawlers, Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, Warlocks, which is also a basic name, SEAL Team 12, couldn't play 6, Aware, all these basic names, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Episode 4, and Burnstar.
Burnstar.
I was hoping Jamestown would pop up in my list, but is that like about the that mass suicide
No,
thing?
it's not. That's another place. It's not even Jamestown.
It wasn't?
No, it's similarly named. I think it's James something, but it's not Jamestown.
Do you know what Jamestown Plus is? I do.
No. Do tell.
It's a shmup. It's about colonizing Mars, basically, which is the Jamestown part, colonizing something. It's basically like a old looking 8-bit or 32-bit or something, 16-bit shooter or spaceship. You're just shooting these like laser beams and stuff up to the top of the screen and slowly moving up, and yeah.
Right. Okay. Miles, it's Jonestown.
Yeah. I looked it up.
But since we just got through this list, referring back to our earlier conversation, and we don't need to touch on it a lot, but I just wanted to make this point based off of this list alone, when we were having a discussion about the PlayStation versus the Xbox and how it'll do this fall, and the war of attrition that I brought up. When you look at these two lists between PlayStation and Xbox platforms, everything the Xbox has coming out this week is also coming out on PlayStation, except when you look at PlayStation, they have a few unique games, such as Jamestown Plus, and 5-Star Wrestling, Tennis in the Face, Soldier X2. You know, like those games, while they're not the biggest games ever, it's the fact that every week you're going to see the PlayStation consoles have unique games, while Xbox One will have only the exact same games that are on PlayStation consoles. And yeah, they have exclusives, obviously. I'm not totally saying that counts it out, because Halo is going to more than make up for loss of sales for the last year. You know, like it's going to do well. But just, it's that little fact that's going to continue making Sony platforms sell really well into the future.
But only Wii U has Pentapuzzle.
Okay, so that wraps up episode 75 of the Middle of Nowhere Gaming Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. We record this podcast on Tuesday afternoons at 2:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully, we got started 15 minutes late today, which is better than the hour we started late last week. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
If you have any questions that you want to email us that we could answer on the next podcast, or anything about the podcast in general, or anything about our website in general, you can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. And then you can find us on Twitter at monk.com, all spelled out, MONGDOTCOM. And then you can find us on Facebook by searching for Middle of Nowhere Gaming. It's also on Tumblr, Instagram, and then on YouTube, youtube.com/Mong Network, which is where all of our podcasts go. It's where all of our trailers go. It's where all of our video game reviews go. All that stuff goes there. And then we have a Mong Plays YouTube channel, which is where all of our live streams go, all of our highlights, all of our Let's Play videos. We don't have a whole lot of subscribers over there, so if you want to do us a favor, go subscribe to that one as well as our normal one. No pressure. Yeah, no pressure. We'll just kill you. Send out the Nintendo Ninja, whatever. And then if you're not already following us on Twitch, twitch.tv/MongPlays, that's where we record the Mong Podcast now. Every week we're going to be up there on Tuesday afternoons recording, streaming this podcast, and then throughout the rest of the week, we will be live streaming all sorts of different games. Like this morning, I streamed Final Fantasy 15 episode Duske, and then every other day we have different people streaming Resogun, Assassin's Creed, what else? Ori and the Blind Forest, Shovel Knight last night, Helldivers. We have all kinds of games streaming every single day, so be sure and subscribe so that
maybe
you can see
Shadow
that.
of Mordor tonight, if you guys are good.
If you guys are
boys.
Good. If you're good little boys. Okay.
Maybe.
And then, of course, we're all on middleofnowheregaming.com. That is where we call home. We write all of our video game news, reviews, editorials. We post all of our podcasts there. That's where everything goes. So if you want to keep up to date with all of that stuff that comes out, that is where you're going to find it all. middleofnowheregaming.com. And then we're all on Twitter. I am at Osborne_2009. Lou is
Lou Cantaldi. That's my name and my Twitter handle.
And Miles is
Furious Milk.
So, thank you guys for joining. It was good. Good day.
That's also Miles' name and Twitter handle.
Good old
My actual
Furious
name is
Milk.
Furious Milk.
Whenever he applied to write for Mong, and I was like, oh, Furious Milk, that is an interesting name. He's fucking hired. Mong!
Mong!
Keep it milky.